Before this story begins, subscribe now. Because once you hear what happened here, you won't forget it. A bright forensic light cuts through darkness. Blood stains the floor, fresh, silent, unexplained. This is a police station. Not an alley. Not a crime scene you expect. A man walked into this building alive. Witnesses saw him. Records logged him. Then he vanished. No alarms. No footage released. No explanation that makes sense. Investigators would later find missing pages, broken timelines, and officers who suddenly couldn't remember his face. This isn't fiction. This is a real case buried under silence. Tonight, we reconstruct every step, every mistake, and every moment that should have saved him, but didn't. Watch carefully. And subscribe, because when the truth is hidden this deep, only those who stay until the end ever see it. The door slammed shut behind him. Not violently. Not dramatically. Just a soft, ordinary thud, the kind of sound no one remembers later. The man stepped fully inside the police station, wiped sweat from his forehead, and glanced over his shoulder one last time, as if checking whether someone had followed him. The fluorescent lights above flickered. An officer at the front desk barely looked up. A ceiling fan creaked as it spun slowly, pushing warm Abuja air around the room. He was safe now. Or at least, that's what he believed. Because from this moment on, from inside a police station, in broad daylight, surrounded by officers, civilians, and official records, this man would never be seen again. Not alive. Not dead. Not anywhere. And to this day, no one can explain how a human being can enter a police station, and vanish completely. His name was Musa Ibrahim. He was 34 years old. A husband. A father of two. A soft-spoken man known by neighbors as quiet, respectful, and painfully cautious. He wasn't rich. He wasn't powerful. He wasn't famous. He sold phone accessories near a busy junction in Abuja: chargers, earphones, power banks, second-hand phones carefully cleaned and arranged every morning. Musa believed in routine. Wake up before dawn. Pray. Kiss his children on the forehead while they slept. Eat quickly. Leave before traffic became unbearable. He avoided trouble. Avoided arguments. Avoided politics. Avoided police. Which is why what happened next makes no sense. 3 days before he vanished, Musa began acting differently. His wife noticed first. He stopped sleeping deeply. He checked the door locks repeatedly at night. He jumped at small sounds. He stopped letting the children walk to school alone. When she asked what was wrong, he brushed it off. Just stress, he said. Business stress. But stress doesn't make a man flinch every time a motorcycle passes slowly by his house. Stress doesn't make someone change SIM cards twice in 1 week. Stress doesn't make a man whisper into his phone, then abruptly hang up when someone enters the room. On the second night, Musa told his wife something that chilled her. If anything happens to me, he said quietly, don't believe everything they tell you. She laughed nervously, trying to lighten the moment. Why would anything happen to you? Musa didn't answer. The following afternoon, 2 men came to his shop. Witnesses remember them clearly because they didn't behave like customers. They didn't browse. They didn't negotiate. They stood too close. One of them kept his hands in his pockets. The other scanned the street constantly, like someone trained to watch for movement. They spoke to Musa in low tones. After a minute, Musa's face changed. He nodded. Packed a few items into a small nylon bag. Locked his shop earlier than usual. And left with them. He returned an hour later, alone. Shaken. A neighboring vendor asked if everything was okay. Musa forced a smile. Yes, he said. Everything is fine. But his hands were trembling. That night, he made a decision. He was going to the police. Not to report a theft. Not to report a fight. He was going to report a threat. Early the next morning, Musa dressed carefully. Clean shirt. Neatly pressed trousers. Slippers instead of shoes, as if he didn't expect to be gone long. He told his wife he would be back before noon. I just need to clear something, he said. At 9:17 a.m., Musa entered the police station. This is not speculation. This is fact. A roadside CCTV camera captured him walking toward the building. The station's occurrence book later confirmed that a civilian male matching his description came in to make an inquiry. Other civilians inside the station that morning remember him sitting on a bench, waiting patiently. One woman recalls he kept looking at the door. Another remembers him rubbing his palms together repeatedly. At 9:29 a.m., Musa spoke to an officer at the front desk. At 9:41 a.m., he was escorted down a hallway toward the inner offices. And after that, nothing. No CCTV footage released. No official explanation. No transfer record. No detention log. By noon, his wife began calling his phone. No answer. By 2 p.m., the phone was switched off. By evening, panic set in. She went to the station herself. I'm looking for my husband, she said. He came here this morning. The officer on duty frowned. What is his name? She told them. The officer flipped through a large book slowly, then shook his head. No such person. She insisted. She described his clothes. His height. His face. Another officer joined them. Madam, he said calmly, are you sure he came here? Her voice rose. Yes. This is the place. He told me. They told her to come back the next day. She did. And the next. And the next. Each time, the story changed slightly. He didn't come here. He came but left. He was transferred. We don't have that information. One officer finally snapped. Madam, people don't just disappear inside a police station. But Musa had. When the family demanded CCTV footage, they were told the cameras weren't working that day. When they asked for the officer who escorted him, no one could identify who that was. When they asked for the occurrence book, pages were missing. Word spread quickly. A man vanished inside a police station. Human rights groups began asking questions. Journalists visited. Social media picked up the story. Protesters gathered outside the station, holding Musa's photograph high above their heads. Where is Musa? Produce him alive. Under pressure, the police released a short statement. They claimed Musa had left the station on his own. No video proof. No witness statement. No timestamp. Just words. But witnesses outside the station swear they never saw him come out. Vendors who had been there all day said no one matching his description exited. A security guard from a nearby building insisted Musa did not pass through the gate. So where did he go? Theories began to form. Some believe Musa was targeted before he ever stepped into the station. That the men who visited his shop were not ordinary civilians, and that reporting them sealed his fate. Others believe he was mistaken for someone else. A case of wrong identity. A name similar to someone wanted. A face that matched a description. Then there are darker theories. That Musa revealed something sensitive. That he mentioned names he shouldn't have. That he knew something dangerous. And once spoken aloud inside those walls, it couldn't be unheard. His wife was warned quietly by relatives to stop pushing. Think of your children, they said. She refused. She appeared on radio shows. Television interviews. Press conferences. Each time holding Musa's photograph, his eyes gentle, his smile faint. "Just tell me where he is," she pleaded. "Dead or alive?" Years have passed. No body has been found. No grave discovered. No confession made. Musa Ibrahim entered a police station seeking protection. Instead, he became a ghost. And the most terrifying part of this story isn't just that he disappeared. It's that if it could happen to him, an ordinary man, doing what we're told is the right thing, it could happen to anyone. So now I ask you, what really happened to Musa inside that building? And how many other names were erased the same way, without witnesses, without records, without answers? If stories like this matter, if the truth deserves light, make sure you subscribe, because the next case is even darker. And somewhere, right now, someone is walking into a place they believe is safe, unaware that they may never walk out.